Hi everybody and welcome to Art Outside the Box with Miss Judy. However, tonight I have a special guest with me. So I have Lynn Casey. She's one of our good friends here at the library. She is a very talented artist who does many different things, and I'm going to let her take the director chair here in a minute and she will walk us through a really fun project. Thanks for being here.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to be back here at the White Pigeon Library to show you another little jewelry craft that's kind of easy to do and doesn't take a lot of money, and with things that you can find at Hobby Lobby or, again, the hardware store. So we're going to be working on a similar necklace hanging with leather, do little tie-ons, little bead wraps, and it's simple but dressy. And we're going to make it adjustable so that you can wear it up here or down lower if you need to. So today I'm going to start with, again, these copper washers. Find them at Harbor Freight, any hardware store. You get an assortment. They're really inexpensive. So, and you get a lot, as you can see, in different sizes. So the first step is to hand hammer your ring. So you get a little ball peen hammer, or a chasing hammer, I think they call it sometimes, and I'm just going to dimple this washer, and you're going to go all the way around, and you're going to want to go on the back side as well, because some of these edges are a little bit sharp. So you don't want it to catch on your clothes. So you continue to hammer both sides until, we'll put this over here, you get a look like that. So you can see the dimples and it's kind of shiny. So this is going to be our centerpiece. I'll move that out of the way. So I pulled some beads that have some of a brass, coppery, and I'm okay with mixing metals. I think that's a little bit trendy right now, and I think it adds a lot of interest to what we're going to do. So I pulled some jump rings, some little tiny copper beads that I had, some neutral colors, some interesting beads, and some little charms, I think is what you would call these. These I picked up at Hobby Lobby. They were half off, so if you look for beads that are half off, you'll be able to do these projects pretty inexpensively, which is kind of nice. And they have a large variety. So we'll add some of those to our process as well. Today I'm going to use, I think this is a navy leather cord, and you want to take about a yard, so that's close to a yard, and you want to start with that. Also, what I used for this, and you can get this at Hobby Lobby as well, it's a flat suede piece of leather. So this works well, but it doesn't allow you to do slip knots. So if you want it to slide and you want to be able to adjust it, you'll want to use the leather cord, and it comes in different sizes. This one works well for me. So what we'll start with, we'll take this, bend it in half. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm going to use a jump ring, and I'm going to put that, and again, you'll need two types of pliers. I like these bent nosed and then the flat nosed. They get me through most anything that I have to do. And I'll close that up. So then, put those ends . So string both ends through there and then pull. So I didn't. So here's a bit of a copper bead that I've had. The more you work with this leather, the more pliable it will become. There we go. Okay, so I put that one on there with that and flipped those ends through, and I found that I didn't really care much for it that way. So I took that out. And yeah, that's much better. And pull that down to there. So now it's a matter of choosing what beads, what charms you may want to hang from here. So I think I've got these head pins. When I made copper earrings the last time, we used these head pins and we learned how to, I showed you how to wrap these. And so you start with whatever combination you like and put them onto the head pin. I think I might, then look at that, I want to add a little tiny copper bead. So this is again the wrap. So you take your needle nose pliers, I would say you go about halfway up. Then you bend this end directly towards you. Without taking your pliers off, you move them up to the top and then you go away and then straight down. You rotate those needle nose pliers again and then pull that end directly towards you again. You're left with a really nice little circle. So then you'll probably want to take, I think I'll use this. So for some of these wraps, I'll use a piece of chain. So you stick that end through, and because you haven't closed up this wrap yet, you can slide that up into that hole. Here's where the term wrap comes from, because you're going to wrap that down, and you're going to try to get them as close as you can to each other. It just makes it look a little tidier. And go almost to where your beads are, right there. I think I can do one more wrap. So with your cutters, get as close as you can without cutting through. I've done that lots of times, cut through the whole thing. And that little end will be, you'll want to tighten that or walk it around. Now, if you choose to do this with silver, you will find that those head pins are a little more pliable, so it's easier to wrap. So now that end is tucked in there, so it will not poke you. think what I might do is just I think that might be too long. So the nice thing about these brass and copper chains that I found, most of them your links are not completely soldered. So this will open up right there, and I'll still be able to use that little piece of chain. So we got our first, I kind of like that. So then now we'll pick up, oh, let's see here. Let's try one of these. I'm gonna go with this. Let's do so again, this is another example. This was a chain that came, and I'm able to use these links separately, or let me do this. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
That's what happens. Got it. Okay. Let's try that again. You know, those days when everything works really well, and there's those days that you kind of struggle a bit. But don't get too frustrated. Well, okay, so I think I'm going to give up on that one. There we go. That's better. Close that up as tight as you can. If that worked better. Now, so see, we're starting to get a nice little dangly look. So let's try another wrap of something. Let's go with these little leaves are cute. You will run into, there we go. There are times when some of the beads just don't seem to have a hole that goes all the way through. And again, I'm gonna bend it back towards me, yourself. Try to keep it in the center. Back and down. Hold that. Rotate your pliers up. And then pull that towards you again. Then you just have to decide where you want to put these. So I think I'm going to put this right on the big ring that we have. Slide it down. And there. And you go back to doing your wrap again. And these head pins they're stiff, but that's not a bad thing. It makes them so that they don't snap. Sometimes you wear things a lot, because this will be one of your favorite necklaces, I'm sure. So these will keep these on here safely. And I'm almost to the bead, so I'm going to snip that tail end off. Again, I call it walking that little sharp end around so that it sits up against that bead. And then I do a little rub to be sure it's not going to stick on anything. So, I've lost that. That's okay. So now what it comes down to is design and what you like to see on things. What you like, you can add anything. You could take old jewelry, take it apart and use those beads. You can do almost anything that you like with this and adding, and it's pretty eclectic, and it has a better look about it when it looks like it all goes together, but it's random. So I finished this, added some more little baubles to it, and now I'm going to show you how to tie the slip knot so that you can adjust the length of the necklace however you want to wear it. So you kind of find your center. And I'll hold it here. And then I'm going to fold that over. And you bring this end up and go around at least, I'm going to make that just a tad longer. You want to be sure you have enough to work with when you start wrapping. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go back towards the loop and catch all of this. Go at least twice, 3 times if you can. So you can see it's similar to the wrap, the wire wrap. I'm going to take this end and go down through this loop so I can get a hold of that end. And you start to pull and push until you've worked So see how that's closing down. Oops. Scoot those ends. Pull on that. Get that a little tighter. So now you'll see you've got one end now that will slide. So then you're going to try to find your middle again. Make sure you have enough. And you're going to do the same thing again. you're going to make a loop, and then you start wrapping, going, oops, towards this loop. At least 2 times, 3 is better. And then you take it again through that loop, and then you start working, pulling, so we'll do the other side the same way. And I want to go 1, 2, 3 times around, and then down through that loop. And then you start to push and pull. Takes a little strength with your hands. As you can see now, they will both slide, so you can adjust that to wherever you want. Just the only thing you want to be sure is that you have enough to be able to slip it over your head, and then once it's on your neck, you have the ability to tighten it up and move it to wherever you would like to wear it.
Thanks, Lynn, for being with me today. I really enjoyed this, and I absolutely love this necklace. So you could see how much of a fun project this could be for you at home with just a few things. I hope you come back and see us again soon.
Okay, thank you again for having me. It's always a lot of fun.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We will see you in 2 weeks, people. We're going to be moving our art outside of the box to every other week throughout the summer. So I hope you have a great night, and look for us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Bye-bye.
Thank you.